Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining PromoVeritas this morning. Our webinar topic today is how to optimize performance of price promotions. And our goal is to serve you 5 key actionable insights for marketers. I'm Lisa Mallet. I'm the moderator today. I work at PromoVeritas with our team. Before we begin, just a couple of housekeeping points. So you know the session is being recorded. We do invite you to ask questions throughout using the Q&A box in the Zoom control panel. We will come to questions possibly towards the middle, but for sure toward the end of our webinar. So please do share questions throughout. They all will remain anonymous. We plan to finish at 10:45 and I will keep us on track so that you have 10-15 minutes to go grab a coffee before your 11 o'clock. So to discuss our topic today, I'm delighted to welcome our panel that you can see here. We have Jeremy Stone, our founder and CEO at PromoVeritas. Elizabeth Stevenson, who is our head of digital analytics at PromoVeritas. And our special guest today is Di Coke, influencer and comper from Super Lucky Me. She leads the Super Lucky community. So welcome, Di. Thank you for joining us today. So price promotions, such as prize draws, competitions and instant wins have long been at the heart of the FMCG sector, with brands frequently turning to promotional marketing as a way of driving sales and consumer engagement. And our estimates at PromoVeritas suggest that in the UK alone, and in the FMCG sector alone, it's probably worth about £50 million per year. So it's a decent sector. PromoVeritas are well experienced and have run more than 18,000 promotions on behalf of the world's biggest brands. So in a first of its kind study, we actually put 400 promotions under the microscope in order to provide you with actionable insights around price promotions. So in this 45-minute session, PromoVeritas are going to reveal our top 5 tips for marketers on how to optimize performance of price promotions by applying our winning formula. Now, to help us do that, Jeremy, we're going to come to you first. And we're going to you're going to talk to us about what your top tips are for optimizing performance of price promotions.
First tip is don't run into anything. Think carefully about what your objectives are, and therefore then pick the right mechanic for the job. So if you're an upmarket brand, you need to think about having appropriate prizes and an appropriate mechanic that will appeal to those. Some people do love prize competitions, games of skill. I want to win a holiday because. Others like quizzes. Others just simply like sending their name in on an email and hoping for luck. So you have to know your audience, know what your objectives are. And if you do get it right, then the increase in the response rates can be quite significant. So in our research, we found that actually vouchers generated the best response. So when you've got to pick the mechanic and you've got to pick the prize. So vouchers actually had an impact of 4 times greater than cash. So do not be misled by those that say just give away cash. And we think one of the reasons when we probe is that if you give somebody £300, £500 worth of cash, they're very grateful for it, but it disappears into their daily, weekly budget. Whereas if you give someone John Lewis vouchers or Argos vouchers or Love to Shop vouchers, then they have to make a conscious decision about what to use it. It can't get lost. And they actually end up enjoying the spending rather than it just dribbling out their normal bank account. Holidays are always very good and are aspirational. They're up there in the top 3. Tech goods have come down, mainly, I suppose, because so many of us have the latest tech. But you do need to be able to pick the right prize for the right mood of your brand. Okay, and the next slide is volume, not value. Yes, there are promotions that give away high value prizes. So we're behind some of the TV and the radio activities. So last year we did Heart Make Me a Millionaire, and the prize was £1 million. But there were actually prizes of £10,000 along the way to tease people in. But generally, the public and they respond better if there is a volume of prizes, even if the value of those is less. So Coca-Cola's strategy for the last few years have been to give away a million of something, whether it was a selfie stick a few years ago, a million rugby balls. So you're not winning an awful lot, but you're winning, and you've got bragging rights that you can tell your mates in the playground. Other approaches are to go for a midway. So if you've got a prize fund of £1 million, don't necessarily give away that million in one go. Split it up. Have a £50,000 headline prize, and then a load more £1,000, £100 prizes. That way, you will get the higher perceived value and the greater perceived chance that the public think that they can win. So volume, not just high value. Last year, we actually worked with Amazon and gave away $25 million of prizes for them. But that was across 500,000 prize winners. So there are an awful lot of lucky and happy people out there. Okay, so that was the third tip. And the fourth tip, well, don't be afraid of actually running price promotions. Many of you are out there spend a lot of your time on pure advertising, on social media, on search engine optimization, and running a promotion is maybe not the most important thing in your lives, but it can be, and it can work, and it can boost your sales. It can build the displays in supermarkets, in retail, on e-commerce. It can build that database. So don't be afraid just because you're a luxury brand. It will work for you if you run it right. If you're a mainstream brand, it will work for you if you run it right. It's how you do it and then what you offer that counts. So we've worked with high-end brands. We've worked with Yves Saint Laurent. We've worked with Gucci, running prize promotions in multiple countries for them. If it works for them, it can work for a can of baked beans, obviously. And the fifth tip is, if it works, keep going. Don't necessarily throw it away and start again. Maybe tweak it, optimize it a little bit. But one of the things that we've been working on for 12, this is our 12th year, is the Cadbury Cream Egg promotion, where there are variations of Hunt the Special Cream Eggs. It started off by being a goulas egg, where it's a solid chocolate egg. Then we did a white egg. And this year we're doing a mixed egg. So it's half white and half dark, but still with the fondant in the middle. And if you find one of those, and there are 482, I think it is, around the country that we've made and that we're now literally distributing in a process we call controlled price placement, direct into stores, you can win £10,000. And the other nice thing is that the retailers will also win. So in order to promote displays, there is a matching promotion for them, which is if the public win, then you, the shopkeeper, will win the same prize. So that promotes the displays and the extra off-shelf displays that generate extra sales. But if you've got a formula that's working and that's delivering, then stick with it. Don't throw it away. Just amend it, refresh it, maybe update the prizes, update the graphics, but keep the core, because the public will get into it. Just like at the moment, they're really into Hunt the Eggs.
I think at this point, Cream Egg is a British institution, right? It's been around for so long, and classic promotion. So we thought it would be fun to show how the controlled prize placement actually works in reality. So we have a clip from inside the factory a few years ago, where Jeremy makes Oscar-winning performance. So we'll move to that clip to help bring it to life for you.
One wrapper that's definitely not revealing what's inside is the one wrapped around the 5,000 cream eggs that Maggie and Parmagit have finally made. They're transported 150 miles to an undercover operative whose job it is to hide them.
As you would expect, it's the same weight and size as a regular egg, and then inside there will be a congratulations, you have found a winning white egg, and in this case this person has won £100. Okay, team, cheers. What a lovely day to be dropping eggs.
Like a cross between Willy Wonka and the Easter Bunny, Jeremy Stern travels incognito up and down the country, depositing prize eggs in supermarkets and corner shops. The practice has been dubbed reverse shoplifting.
Hello, welcome to the claim line. How can I help? Lovely stuff. Bear with me just a second.
The white cream egg campaign has started to produce lucky winners.
Fantastic. So when was it that you purchased? You've eaten it. Oh, good stuff. Was it delicious?
Brilliant. How long ago was that, Jeremy? Oh, you're still on mute there. You're a bit quick.
That was Channel 4 and about 3 years ago, but they keep repeating it. So every now and again, people do comment on it, and I think, gosh, it's been on again. But
Being
yes,
stopped in the street.
they follow me now when I'm in Waitrose, checking whether I'm dropping any eggs.
Brilliant. So a bit of audience participation now. So we're just going to drop a poll into the chat. Has anyone bought a cream egg this year? Anyone's favourite in the room? You see the poll? Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to share it. Let's have a look. Yes. Oh, not yet. Is there still time? When does the promotion end? Jeremy, do you know?
It ends about the 20th of April.
20th of April, just after Easter. Okay, so there's still time. More winning eggs out there. Thank you, Jeremy. We're going to move over to Di. We're going to come to you. You're an influencer and a professional comper, we would say, and I guess you know your instant win from your prize draw. Let's move on to the next slide. So I guess, do the factors that Jeremy's mentioned there ring true for you?
Absolutely. I did a bit of a survey amongst my community on Facebook and on Twitter. And at the end of every year, I ask them which are their favourite promotions. And walkers are usually in the top 10. And I think what people enjoyed with this particular walkers promotion was, as Jeremy said, it was a lot of smaller prizes. So you could win £250 every hour. There was 18 separate prize draws every day. So if you didn't win at 10 in the morning, you could try again at 11. You could try again at 12:30. It was something that just kept people really excited through the whole promotion. It wasn't just a single prize draw. It was this rolling daily entry. The prize was actually, a lot of people consider a prize over £100 to be a big prize. So 250, you know, it might not sound like much compared to 25,000, but people were really excited about this competition. So yeah, it was definitely a good one. And I think there was 1,600 winners in the end of this one. So it was a lot of prize winners. It was a good one.
And as you say, great example of volume, not just the high value, kind of motivating.
Exactly. I think sometimes the higher value it is, the more maybe cynical people can be, or a little bit suspicious. I think perhaps this competition actually ran alongside Find a Heart-Shaped Crisp, and you could win £100,000 if it was deemed that your heart-shaped crisp was the most heart-shaped. And I love that element of the promotion. However, the winner declined publicity. So I think actually in some ways people were a little bit like, well, was there really a winner? Whereas with these smaller prizes, you see people winning everywhere because people shout about it. I've won £250. So I think actually going for the smaller prizes, it makes things more transparent, more believable.
Which is what we want, right? The believability factor. And the next example you mentioned was cash isn't always best.
Unusual experiences, once in a lifetime holidays. Also, if you're given something that you can curate yourself. So I think with this McVitie's promotion, it was a really good mix. And I think when I've spoken to my community, they love having two separate chances to win. They love an instant win, but if you don't win instantly, you're not disappointed because you're then entered into a prize draw for a bigger prize. So you've still got that chance at the end of the promotion to get something amazing. So with McVitie's, they actually gave away 10 biscuit hampers every day, I think this was, on an instant winning moments basis. So again, it was exciting. It was like the Walkers one. A biscuit hamper, it's not a high value prize, but it's a treat for people. So people really enjoyed it. And then at the end of the competition, I think there were 8 prizes of, it was a high value holiday, and there was a choice of locations, and it was actually curated specifically to whether the winner would, you know, was a family or a couple. It was like their dream holiday. So this was a really nice one, and I think it really kind of had a real buzz about it.
Nice. Now, if we move to the next slide, we know it's March and many of us in our personal lives do not want to be thinking about Christmas, but we know for many of our listeners in FMCG land that you're already planning what's going to be on our shelves this coming Christmas. So just to look back a little, Di, what was your standout Christmas promotion from 23?
We got really excited about this one because this was new. We don't see many competitions at all in Aldi. You know, most of the competitions that we see on products, they are in the major supermarkets or in the Co-op, Nisa, things like that. So this one came out, I think, probably quite early in November. Flashed boxes of mince pies. I think they were less than £1 for a box. So it was a really good one to get people involved. It was cheap to buy them. There was a code printed inside the box, so you know it's secure when it's in the box. People can't just see it on the back of a crisp packet. And then you entered it online, instant win, Aldi voucher prizes. Again, as Jeremy said, cash isn't always king. Vouchers, people feel like they can treat themselves to something with a voucher. The cash just goes into the bank account. It might be forgotten about. With this, there was a lot of small prizes, just like a £20 voucher, but people really appreciated it. It was just before Christmas, a great time to give away the vouchers. For Aldi, it was good because people were having to go back in the store to spend their prizes. So they were going in once to get the mince pies. Well, actually, if you're me, you're probably going in 6 times to buy more mince pies.
Okay.
So, and then they're going back in to spend the prizes. And the top prize was actually a year's worth of shopping. It was £5,200 of Aldi vouchers. So that is the dream prize, I think, for a lot of people out there. It's a perfect prize.
Absolutely.
We actually ran that promotion, Di, and the story of the winner was really emotional. They were not having a good year, shall we say. And then they opened their mince pies, in which there were several hundred that we had made up, and they won this whole year's supply, and they were absolutely delighted.
Yeah, you can't imagine how exciting it must be to do an instant win on a website and to see that message. You've won £5,200 of shopping. It must be incredible.
That's what we like, those stories. That's what it's all for. Thank you, Di. That was really helpful to get your take on those promotions, and appreciate your looking back over your best performing or most loved over 23.
Yeah.
Super helpful. Thank you. We're going to invite Liz now, our head of digital analytics, to also talk about another promotion, a case study from Priority. So we asked Liz what promotion that she's worked on, and Liz, I think you've worked on probably thousands at this point. What promotion best demonstrated our top tips in action? So Liz has put together, in partnership with Priority from O2, a quick summary of their advent calendar from Christmas. Thanks, Liz.
Okay, thanks. Okay, we're just sorting the sound out from our end. So yeah, I'm delighted this morning to come and talk to you about the O2 Priority Advent Calendar promotion that ran throughout December this year. Next slide, please, Jack. So just to give you a little bit of background, we have PromoVeritas have worked with O2 Priority for the last 9 years, mainly handling their winner management. So we wanted to work together this year to maximise their Christmas activity. And at the beginning, when we started to work with them, they really clearly articulated their objectives for the promotion, because obviously this helps you decide the best form of mechanic. So one of their objectives was to really drive the user engagement for their 2.5 million Priority app users. They also wanted to create lots of interaction and fun on site, hence why we ended up going down the gamification route. But they also wanted to drive prize believability, so to make their app users believe that prizes were being won, but also to increase their net promoter score. So again, we worked with them to go live at the beginning of December. Next. So you can see that they had many prizes. They had over 10,000 prizes, both across value and volume. Also, in terms of variety of prizes, so they had, as Di's been talking about, those big holidays, and then they also had daily prizes of Greggs mince pies or sweet treats. So you can see they worked with 8 or 9 different partners, and the big tier 1 prizes, they each had so many days each, and so we had lots of experiences. We also had Waitrose vouchers, and this really gave everybody a feel that they would have a chance to win. Next slide. So you can see that PromoVeritas handled the promotion across the whole breadth of services. So we started working with them in October to really talk about how we could maximise the mechanic and how that would best work via their app. So we developed a microsite which had an advent calendar, gamification and animation. So every day an app user could come via a unique link. So this helped manage the bots and fraudulent entries we often get, and would allow people to come back daily and click on a door open, see an animation, and see if they'd won or not. PromoVeritas had complete control over the drafting terms and conditions, so we advised the best way that we could make this work. We also managed the winning moments and had an automated winner notification system. For our big prizes of holiday prizes, our team handled a personalised telephone winner management service, and we also handled all the customer services on behalf of O2. We also provided a live entry and winner dashboard for O2, which allowed them to see the entries, the registrations, but also who was winning. And certainly at the very beginning, I think we were spending a lot of time clicking and seeing how many entries we were getting. As part of the wrap-up of the promotion, we very quickly provided key learnings and insights report, and we've already started working with the team on planning for this year and this Christmas. Next slide, please. So here you go, here's the results, and it was totally outstanding. So of the 2.5 million app users, over 20% participated, so 20% registered. We had 2.3 entries to the promotion and 2.5 million views. 12% of people that registered played 12 times or more, and we had 100% claim rate. We would normally expect to see about an 80% claim rate, but with the support of the team at PromoVeritas, we achieved 100% claim rate. Next slide, please. I've got an additional learning that I want to share with you. For those of you who remember Field of Dreams and the quote, if you build it, they will come. Unfortunately, with a microsite, they won't. You need to tell them about it. And this is where the O2 team did an amazing job. They persistently communicated with their app users. And as you can see in the slide, out of 12 of the 25 promotional days, they were communicating. And we could see, one of the really great communications was their SMS. They're also doing in-app pushes. So they were using the data, they were seeing the traffic on their app site. They were seeing how and when they should push. So really, if you're going to run a promotion and you're going to build a site, you need to tell people about it. So that's one of my key learnings. And it's a really great example of what Priority did really well. And then finally, I just wanted to share a testimonial from Ty. So I'll let you read that.
I do believe that Ty is actually on the call, but thank you for the quote, Ty. So I'll just read out the bit. The success of the promotion has encouraged us to rethink how we can expand and evolve the winning experience. So Priority did set PromoVeritas the challenge of scaling this promotion. And as Liz said, we scaled it very, very quickly, or I should say Liz and the team did, whilst ensuring it was secure and it was a frictionless digital experience. So thank you for giving us the opportunity. And Liz speaks very modestly about a fantastic promotion that really did supersede expectations. So, and Ty's just sharing a comment there. Thank you, Ty. Great. Okay, so questions. We've reached our almost conclusion. Been great time. Thanks, team. Might be able to get 2 cups of coffee in before your next meeting, everybody. So there
I'd
was
like to know what the
a
audience.
question earlier. Any hints, Jeremy, where the cream eggs might be found this year?
Well, we actually travel throughout the breadth and the length of the country, so they could be anywhere. We do them in proportion with sales. So if Tesco is 25% of Cadbury cream eggs, then they will get 25% of the winning eggs. If the North don't buy cream eggs, then the North don't get the winning eggs. It's all done fairly squarely, but randomly. But no, if anyone wants to follow me, then maybe they might stand a better chance.
We know where you live, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm off to Manchester on Thursday if anyone wants to come on the train.
Good to know. Di, you mentioned there that you've seen some popular promotions or other ones that you've seen on Instagram. That would be great if you've got a couple of minutes to share that.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, because obviously I enter a lot of competitions. I write on my website about all the competitions that are happening. So I do tend to be aware of everything that's going on and what people get excited about. And I just want to mention a couple of nice ones on Instagram that were really quite simple to run for big brands and were very popular. So in January, Samsung did a competition to celebrate the new year, and they gave away 2023 £5 Costa vouchers. And they shared a reel on Instagram and Facebook about AI, and you had to just leave a comment with your thoughts about AI. And then they responded eventually, I think it must have taken a while, to these, 2023 winners. And everyone was just sent a QR code for £5 in Costa. Now, it's a really small prize, but if you give something like that away, having a free coffee in Costa is actually quite a big treat for a lot of people, particularly when, we haven't got much money. And you probably would think, well, if I've got £5, I need to spend it in the supermarket. But actually, I've got to, I can go out and have a coffee. So people were really excited about that competition. And I did think it was a nice, generous one to start the year. I spotted event days are great on Instagram too. So Leap Year Day, there was actually quite a lot of promotions. I know it's gone now. We won't have it for 4 more years. But there was some quite novel promotions. And McDonald's actually did a live stream on Instagram stories on the day, and they had 29 prizes for 29th of February. And basically you were watching like the McDonald's board, and the numbers of the orders were coming up, and if the number 29 came up, you could screenshot it and DM it to them, and you won McDonald's reward points. Small prizes, there were 29 winners, 29 chances to win, but hundreds of people were watching it and getting really excited about it. So I think even, if you're not running a huge promotion, you can actually run a smaller one and get loads of interaction. As long as you've got all your terms and conditions and you explain what people have to do, there's a lot of fun ways that you can do things on social media too.
Lovely. We've just had a question. Oh, Jeremy, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think this is the year to build a database if you're an FMCG, because probably by the end of the year, the new HFSS, high fat, sugar, sodium product laws on marketing will be coming into force. And they will ban most of our supermarket food brands and drink brands from advertising on television, beyond a watershed, from doing marketing. A lot of marketing initiatives will be banned. But one area that will not be banned is direct marketing directly to named individuals. So as long as they're over 18. So if you have a database of those people, then in 2025 and onwards, you'll be able to market. So that's why I think this is a good year to run those price promotions, to get the data, and then you can secure your future for the bad years ahead.
Absolutely. And I mean, speaking as a marketer myself, I found the opt-in rate that we see having an entrant participated in a promotion is, unbelievable. We see typically a 30 to 35% opt-in rate once someone's participated in a competition or a promotion, which, as you say, Jeremy, never more important than to try and build that database this year.
Now, Di spoke about Instagram, which is a very popular mechanic. But just last Wednesday, the ASA made a negative ruling against the cosmetic brand Space NK. They ran a promotion on Instagram, but they ran it badly because it's not so easy to extract the data, and they were unable to prove that they'd run it properly and fairly. So there are risks associated, so make sure that you run it right.
Absolutely. So we have had a couple of questions come in. So Jeremy, I'll ask you this first. Would you say a prize where there is just one sole prize over a combined prize of 2 or more is more or less successful?
I would say it's less successful in general, because the perceived chance of winning is naturally less. People tend to want to win. And think of the national lottery. If you do the lottery and you win £10,000, you'll tell your mates. But if you win £10, you'll still tell your mates. You feel you're a winner. You've got something back. And clearly, the chances of you winning 10 are much greater than winning 10,000 or the 100 million. So no, unless it's a completely amazing experience. So we've given away a trip into space on the SpaceX. Now, clearly, you can't give away 1,000 of those. So that clearly aspirational. Or meet Mariah Carey as a trip in Canada. You're not going to give away a load of those. But if it's cash, if it's vouchers, if it's tech, then we think volume is better.
Did you have to factor delivering the eggs by hand into the terms and conditions? One of our audience think human bias is possible. I think you spoke to how we overcome the human bias, Jeremy.
Yeah, there is undoubtedly an element of human bias because we map out our routes to be reasonably effective. So we have a team of auditors that do it, including myself. I'm not going to drive from Edinburgh to Cardiff and then back to Glasgow. So we route it efficiently and sustainably, you could argue. But the requirement is fair and random, and we that's how we operate it. We pick independent stores, we pick supermarket stores, big chains, small chains. It's spread across the whole board. And don't forget, any bias that we might have is of no consequence to the public because they don't know our bias. They don't know that I'm more likely to favour a co-op than I am a SPA, if I am at all. So it doesn't change the nature of the operation.
Brilliant. And another question was, can we share some case studies of retailer competitions and promotions? Absolutely. So, a key reason for PromoVeritas putting on the webinar is to share our experience and our knowledge. But equally, if you are interested in running a promotion or, just trying to get some more inspiration, then do obviously reach out, and we'd be more than happy to share case studies and examples and talk in more detail about what you're looking to do. Okay, so I think we'll move to the next slide where, Jeremy, if you are happy to wrap up and summarise the actionable insights that we promised everyone today.
Yeah, choose the right mechanic is clearly the starting point. Some of you may not even know all the mechanics that exist out there. You might not know about winning moments. You might not know about the use of unique codes or shared codes or whatever. You will think about text to win as being an old-fashioned mechanic, but there are modern ways, using a QR code, using Blipper. So talk to somebody who does know about these things. Prizes, we've spoken that cash isn't always the right one to go with, and that it's about volume rather than pure value. And it's the believability. With that Walker's £250 every hour, it meant that on our website that we ran for them, we could say, and the winner this hour is Fred, and next hour it was John and Jack and Jill. And that helps to make people believe it's real. There's nothing worse than invisibility, and people think it's a con. So everybody does like to win prizes. In our research, we actually found that Waitrose consumers had a higher propensity than co-op shoppers to enter prize promotions. Yeah, maybe they're the ones that are intelligent, that work out what the odds of winning, or they've got more time on their hands, who knows. But the affluent achievers, as that sector is called, came out top in terms of their responsiveness to standard prize promotions. Create a winning formula and run with it. That can be difficult. Some of you out there might be involved in sponsoring the coming Olympics. Well, you're only going to get that chance once every 4 years. But if you've got something like the cream egg, you've got something like Walker's £250 an hour, or Heart, Make Me a Millionaire, keep it going, improve it. And don't forget to tell your audience. On-pack is a very powerful mechanic, but it's only powerful for those people that are standing in front of your pack in a supermarket. So you've got to do some additional marketing work to get them out there. And this is where we often have a problem, because the lovely creative ad agencies want to tone down the promotional messages. Whereas our view is win should be big. It needs to be up there, it needs to be bold, and it needs to be intrusive. There's no point in having it hiding at the bottom right-hand corner of the pack. Make it strong and dominant. This is a copy of, well, can't see that, I've gone, Compass News, which Di actually has a column in. And it's an amazing publication that's available online and subscription. And they list and all the current promotions that are out there, and they give lots of hints and tips, particularly Di with her weekly column. One for luck, stay legal. All right, there are risks involved. When you're putting out golden tickets, when you're doing unique codes, you've got the risk of abuse, you've got the risk of fraud. You've both internal from factory staff as well as from the public. You've got legal issues. Anytime you offer anything, you're entering into a binding contract with the consumer, and they will catch you out, right? There are 38,000 complaints every year to the Advertising Standards Authority about marketing campaigns. And as a result of that, 15,000 campaigns are either stopped or amended, right? That all goes on behind the scenes. Often you don't know about it. You just see the occasional one. But that's thousands of people's campaigns are being adversely affected. So do get your compliance advice before you start. You know my number.
And we will share it, Jeremy, to make sure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And Jeremy, thank you for summing up there. Hopefully what we've delivered is actionable insights. We're keen to make sure that we give back after you've generously given us your time. We're here to support and offer advice, as Jeremy said, so we hope you've been inspired by some of the promotions that we've shared today. The webinar will be available on demand within 24 hours, so we will share that, and also a quick follow-up survey because we're keen to get your feedback. So thank you to the panel, really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.